Okay. Well, we're live.
Oh, you didn't know?
Iron Palace Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Iron Palace Podcast, the world's most anabolic podcast. Not yet.
Where the listeners are just as prepared as the hosts.
Yep.
Trust us.
Yep.
Trust the process.
Yeah, I don't think we need to prove it anymore. I feel like just the simple world's most anabolic podcast,
Yeah.
We're past the proven point now. It's just a fact, so.
Yeah. I mean, look it up.
Yeah, if you say something enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the truth, 100%.
I'm about to say, what else? What do you mean?
Just
You say it enough what?
It becomes truth. Yeah.
You know what they say. They say things.
Things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Things have been said.
Yes.
Yep.
By people.
Yeah, allegedly.
Yeah, I don't know how interesting this episode will be. We're off to such a great start.
I don't know. I think we're rolling right along.
Yeah. If you're a watcher, not a listener, you'll see I do not have an iPad. I don't have anything prepared today.
I think this is the first episode ever without your iPad.
Other than the beginning ones, yeah.
Oh yeah.
But even then, I had like paper notes. I at least had some kind of idea of what I was doing.
Well, see, by now you're such a seasoned pro, you don't need notes.
Ideas are for communists.
I feel it's like what I used to tell my Sunday school teacher. And they said, "Caleb, where's your Bible?" I said, "The words in my heart."
And it can be in yours too.
I always have it with me. Keep that thing on me. But whoop.
I was getting a phone call. Make sure my phone's still recording.
Well, you can do that.
Hey.
You told me to check. You're the guy that works the cameras.
I forgot. I was thinking you're just gonna have to literally look at my phone. I forgot I got a monitor over here.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah.
Try not to look at it.
Y'all want a gummy worm?
Sure.
Yeah.
If I get a blue and red one, I will lose it.
That's how prepared we are. I'm just eating gummy worms
Just
sitting over
pass
here.
them around. That's what you boys get into later.
I don't know, man.
So do you have any dogs?
Oh yeah, Dave, you got any dogs? You're the only one I ain't asked yet.
I got a blue and red gummy worm. I
Dang.
can't reach to a pack without getting a blue and red one. I like the green and orange ones.
I got a double doozy, dog.
Oh.
All right, I guess we can figure something else out to talk about besides gummy worms.
I can
We
tell
all
this.
simultaneously chew in the microphone.
Oh yeah. Well, Holland was starting to tell us a story, and I made him stop until he started.
Yeah.
So, proceed.
Story time.
Yeah, so I do a calendar every year where I recreate, poorly recreate artworks, and
By poorly, you mean majestically.
well,
You mean improve upon them?
yes, and
100% fact. Yeah.
so like, and I sell them as a fundraiser for the Haven House, and thank you, I'm good now. So one of the ones is hanging at a gas station there in Townsend, and I stop there a lot. And there's a group of old guys that like to go in there and hang out and drink coffee and stuff in the morning.
Don't we all?
Yeah, and one of them was telling me that there was a guy that had come in and was sitting down there with him. He's like, he didn't know him. He thought maybe one of the other old guys there knew him or whatever, but apparently he just found a group of people and sat with them for 15 or 20 minutes. But he said that the guy was staring at something, and he got to looking. He was looking at that calendar. He walked up and walked down and went flipping through it, and he came and sat back down, and he was like, "What kind of faggot would take pictures of himself like that and put it in a calendar?" Well,
Gee, you just went with a hard F on that one.
yeah, I mean, his words, not mine, but and
Can't cancel this. Wasn't his words.
yeah, and George was the guy that was telling me. George was like, well, he said it wasn't 10 seconds after that came out of his mouth. We walked in, me and a couple other people walked in. He was right there. He is. You can ask him.
He about that life, or did he drop it?
Guy never said a word. I went over there and talked to him forever. Guy never looked up at me. I never even really noticed him sitting there.
No, he ain't got.
That dog in
He
him.
ain't got that dog in him.
He was about in the streets, but not in the sheets, boys.
Well, so George was like, man, you have no idea how bad I was wanting to say something. I was like, man, I wish you had. It would have been hilarious.
That would have been awesome.
I mean, it didn't make me mad because, whatever. People can think what they want.
Yeah.
And, but he was like, George is friends with me on Facebook. And he was like, let me show you some pictures of that faggot that you were talking about. And the first thing he pulled up was that video of me pulling 700 for two. Mm-hmm. And that guy was like, how much is that? And George says, well, it says right here it's 700 pounds. And he was like, oh my God.
Yeah. Go say it to his face.
Yeah. He was like, go talk to him.
Yeah. Now go tell him he shouldn't be happily married.
Yep.
Oh man. Yeah, it was hilarious. And I keep looking for that guy again because, obviously, I'm not one to like fight him or anything, but I want to really make him uncomfortable.
Just for the humor of the situation.
Yeah.
Just go sit like real awkwardly close to him.
Yeah, be like, hey, buddy.
Yeah. Every time you talk to him, make a point to touch his shoulder or something.
Or just sigh like you want to be noticed. Just sit real close.
Wonder what else we could be doing right now.
I'm one person shy of a good cuddle.
I really need someone to spot me on my squats today.
Yeah.
Squatting 800, trying to get double cheeked up on a Friday night.
But yeah, that guy, he just sat there and never even looked up. I mean, I would have had to have at least, like, if I had said that, I'd at least had to, like, give the guy a once-over. Like,
Yeah.
No one's saying he didn't give you a once-over.
Yeah, I didn't see it. If he
Maybe
did.
he's projecting. Just saying.
Only one way to find out. We got to get him on the podcast.
Yep.
Yeah, so
Next-
if you're
next
listening.
guest. Yeah, you want to. Oh, Lord. You want to be about that life, dog? Call us up at 1-800 Iron Palace.
The next Creator Clash, Holland versus this guy.
Yeah.
Creator class. One guy who was on the podcast and the other guy who just dropped the F word. Not the one that you think.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't approve of the use of that word, by the way. Yeah. It's hurtful. Unless you're talking about a pile of sticks.
Or
Yeah, only if you're using it biblically.
or if you're a British person talking about a cigarette.
Oh, yeah. That's also almost don't want to say it now that I'm not quoting someone.
It's officially awkward.
Yeah.
I'm just going to bask in it.
Yep.
Let you guys steer us out of these waters.
Yeah.
The whole way home from work, I kept trying to think of topics to talk about. Nothing.
Yeah.
I got a whole lot of nothing. I feel like there's not. Well, UFC 300. Either one of you watch that?
I saw Justin Gaethje get put to sleep.
Dude, that was nuts. Dude, Holloway had that in the bag.
Yeah.
Like the fight is over. We are in the last it's the last 10 seconds of the last round, and Holloway's already won the round, and just steps out of the corner, waves Gaethje on, says, "Right here."
Yeah.
They go out to the center ring and start throwing it out with 2 seconds left. Drops him. Holloway drops Gaethje, dude. I was like, oh my Lord. For the BMF title, that couldn't have been a better win.
Yeah. And, they had just, before that, they had talked to Dana about, like, trying to up the bonus for, and he was like, oh, yeah, we'll do it. Well, they earned it right there.
Yeah.
They just guaranteed that they got that bonus.
Yep. I always forget. I can never say the other guy's name. The guy that beat Israel Adesanya.
Oh.
I say his name wrong every time. Either way, he went up in weight class and fought a guy. And did you see that one? Oh, man. So the dude threw a leg kick that went high and hit him in the nether regions. And Herb Dean was the referee. It came over to stop it. And without even looking, homie puts his hand out to stop him from calling it. Because he was already throwing up the timeout sign. He put his hand out and doesn't even look at him, just backs him off and then drops him. Fight over. I was like, my Lord.
Dang.
Dude, UFC 300 was different.
Yeah. I just saw the Holloway Gaethje fight, but, man, that was a good fight.
It was amazing.
I mean, both those guys can throw hands.
Oh, yeah.
And Gaethje, what gets me about Gaethje is like an elite level wrestler that doesn't wrestle.
No.
He was like, I'm here to fight. I'm not here to wrestle.
See, I always think the same thing. Like, for whatever, I didn't really get into the Habib that much because it's just boring to watch it. Like, I get that it's effective and you win. Like, I'm not arguing that, but I don't like watching it as much.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the end of the day, there's still also, it's a product to try to sell pay-per-views.
Yeah.
So like,
So, I mean, he has a great record. He did awesome. I still prefer to watch McGregor, though. Like, besides his, crap talking all the time, just watching him throw hands is.
What was it? Rogan was talking about Habib was giving a quote about like these guys are out there to win fights or whatever. And he was like, what I do is I pull you into the deep water where you find yourself or something. I'm like, oh, okay.
All right, daytime Emmy, let's take a chill pill over here.
I'm like, well.
That reminds me of the Eddie Hall and Thor boxing match. Did you see where Eddie Hall's like, the very first contract was signed. He makes the video and he goes, "This is to you, Thor. I'm willing to go out to the deep. Are you willing to go with me?" I was like, all right, let's calm down.
Yeah.
This is celebrity boxing.
Yeah, let's get back on the drama a little bit.
Yeah.
and after that, only one of them looked like they knew how to box.
Exactly.
It wasn't him.
I mean, I tried to give Eddie Hall benefit of the doubt. I was like, you're fighting a guy that is 6'9", like, okay, but still.
Yeah.
Eddie Hall used the lean as far away as I can to where I can't reach him, but he can still reach me approach.
I was confused. I was very confused what he was doing.
I mean, because he'd posted all these training videos and stuff, and then the fight starts, and I'm like, has he ever had on boxing gloves?
He took this stance and turned it sideways.
Yeah,
that's all he did the entire fight.
Yep.
The old pugilism stance.
He's bona fide.
That's back when fights lasted for 4 days.
No, you started. No, you started. Because he posted some pretty good training videos. Yeah, like working pads and everything, and then shows up none of it.
None of it.
Not one combo was thrown.
Yeah, nothing followed him into the ring.
A lot of really big right hands that literally came from the floor. Because he's like Dave said, he's leaned all the way over. So my favorite though was never the fight started. He acted like he was going to fight Southpaw. Ding ding.
Immediately, I was so proud of it. Hey, a couple of them punches, Thor probably felt the cool breeze off of.
Yeah. He's like, oh, thank God I was getting hot. That was my favorite part. Start of the fight. He just, and just a little hop.
And smiled from ear to ear like, we got him. We got him.
Didn't see you coming. Yeah.
He probably only thought I was going to hit him with one of my hands.
Little did he know I'm amphibious.
Bihandual in this corner.
I'm both-handed.
I'm proficient with 8.5 digits.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. I think it kind of goes to show, like, who the real, athlete was.
I agree.
Because, Thor had grown up playing basketball and doing, Eddie grew up swimming.
Yeah.
I mean, now he was a pretty high-level swimmer.
But looking at him now, you wouldn't think that.
No.
But
you think he's a sinker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say he is definitely less buoyant.
He doesn't the first person I've ever thought this, but he doesn't look like he has the neck for swimming.
He just didn't have the neck for it.
He'd be a good swimmer, but you ain't got the neck for it.
You got the neck for it, dog.
Sorry.
God did not grace you with the swimming neck.
His shoulders are welded to his ears. Like, how do you swim like that?
You and no neck Ed. Like, y'all are in some deep water. No pun intended.
He's built like a bull shark without the tail. There's a reason them things have that big tail, son.
He's built like a fishing bobber.
With the spring broke.
What does it look like to have a neck for swimming? You can't say Michael Phelps.
I was about to say, one example. Ryan locked in. Y'all forgot about him, didn't you?
Yeah, I can say that.
Yeah.
I feel like he was a precursor to sketch.
nobody's a precursor to sketch.
I feel like you give Ryan Lochte a couple learning disabilities, you got sketch.
Dude, I saw this thing the other day about sketch that said it's just showing like his highlights, him meeting his fans, and he's just like super chill. And they said we finally got one right.
Yeah.
Like I could not agree.
Yeah, like
more.
he stops and takes pictures with everybody. Like he loves it.
I seen the one where he's at the golf course and the dude's like walking by, looking at him. He goes, "What's up, brother?"
Yeah.
And he just calls. He's like, "Yeah, come on up here." Like, dude, the guy's just watching him, and he's like, "No, come up here."
Somebody asked him on one I saw today. They were like, "Do you get tired of people like quoting you to you?" He's like, "No, I love it." He's like, "Other people probably get tired of it, but I think it's awesome." Yeah,
dude. If the day ever comes that someone quotes our podcast to me, that's not family.
yeah.
I feel like if Linda comes up and quotes it to me, it's not the same.
Right.
But if that happens, it will never get annoying.
It'd still be awesome, Mom, though.
Yeah.
So.
The thumbs up. It'd still be awesome, Mom.
I like how you did the classic stadium move too, looking at the monitor and not the camera.
I was making sure that you'd switched.
Oh,
you know,
if you're talking about me, I am always looking at the monitor, never the camera. You would think I would know that.
That cracks me up. People get put on the Jumbotron like, "Oh yeah, let me look away from it now." To look at me, not looking at the camera.
Yeah.
To be fair, I never know. I never know where that camera is. So,
yeah.
And I think I've only ever been on a Jumbotron once, and I saw it right as they were moving away from me.
I can always feel it.
I
Born entertainer.
Yeah. Got it in his bones.
Song and dance man like Johnny Paycheck.
He's got the neck of a performer.
Yeah.
He does have the neck of a
Yeah. And the hair.
Yeah.
It's an adaptable neck. It does a little swimming on the side.
It's like a Swiss Army neck, if you will.
Yeah. This neck's got a sport mode.
He's the Victorian ox of necks. You know?
Yeah. Eddie's got the diff locked on his neck. You know?
His spider gears are welded together.
Yeah.
Definitely no four-wheel drive on that one.
Yeah, no.
And Eddie, if you want to
Traction control
disagree
lights
with us,
on.
you can come on the podcast. We'll talk about if you have a neck for swimming or not.
Yeah. We'll have a swimming contest.
But if he comes on, we're going to put his chair at a 45-degry angle from us just to see if he can look. Yeah.
See if he's got the Michael Keaton syndrome on Batman. Yeah.
Yeah.
The minute he stiffly looks over, like, told you, sinker.
Yeah.
Look dead at the camera.
Yeah.
Told you.
He ain't swimming the channel.
A whale shark comes after him.
Yeah.
Daddy's getting away.
We're going to have a 3-event meet. One's a deadlift. The other two, though, are water polo and Marco polos. The two polos of water sports.
I think he actually was not in Strongman when the World's Strongest Man had like water events. Now to think
Wonder
about
why.
it.
Maybe it's all a conspiracy that he wants us to think he was a
just
swimmer,
saying.
too.
I mean,
Maybe that's all made up, too.
They did do a caber in water event one time. I still don't know who thought of that. Then they also did the duck walk, but in water. That's also stupid.
Yeah. I mean,
Natural habitat, I guess.
really adding strongman events in water just doesn't really make sense.
Especially whenever it's like they put it in water that's just inconvenient.
Just use a Smith machine.
Like you got to walk in knee deep water, but then carry this 300-pound weight over and then walk it up the stairs.
Yeah.
I was like, why do we need the water?
What's the point of that? Like,
Or the caber toss? You're just flipping a log into water.
yeah.
For why?
I think we should bench press in water.
You know what? I agree with you.
Squat water.
Jumping jacks. Water would be
In the
like-
water.
Yeah.
There should just be a water aerobics portion of strongman.
I'm in.
Yeah, I agree. That would be pretty funny.
It could be the USAW.
Are you proud of that? This is where you want to be when Jesus comes back.
I'm proud of it now that I know he's laughing pretty good about it. Like
That's not fair.
when
He
it was in
laughs
a chamber,
Hey, I'm
I
sorry,
didn't
it
feel so
got
hot
me.
He
about it.
laughs at everything you say. That's
That one got me. I'm sorry. I'll be better.
well, but if it's water or strongman or just all the weights, just large pieces of styrofoam. I mean, I feel like the only way to make it heavy underwater is to make it float.
You'd have to push it down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is never going to happen.
Never. No.
Not with that attitude.
I know I wouldn't do it, so therefore I will not say, "Hey, you want to do this?"
Yeah.
No.
It'd be hard to promote it.
Yeah, come on, guys. We're gonna. No, just don't.
You'd have to have a pretty gradual slope too to make the water level the same height for all the athletes.
No. 10 feet or nothing.
Tragic news from World's Strongest Man.
Yep.
All the competitors drown.
Yeah. I was about to say, there's going to be a big sign that says, we're on a budget, couldn't afford a lifeguard. So,
In a convenient twist, the water depth is exactly to my chin.
so don't die.
Do your best.
Yep. Go get them, guys. Also, we don't have awards, so you're just going to go home with a handshake if you win.
You're never going to win if you keep coming up for air.
Let me help. Start kicking.
Like, get back in there, but I'm getting pruny.
Oh, no.
Suffer from my passion. Pruned up for days.
So, this is kind of one of those Dave moments where I connected the dots to Highland Games.
Oh.
But so I showed a lot. We talked about Caber, and then that's pretty much
Leave us the breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
That's it. We talked about Caber, which is Highland Games, and then I've been stuck there. Really, I didn't follow breadcrumbs. I really just got stuck.
No.
Yeah. That would have already been 4 thoughts past the Caber.
Well,
now I'd be on.
If I didn't have a story that came with that, like if that thought didn't stick, and then I had a story that makes for good podcasting, then I would have just kept rolling. But
I don't have any breaks. I'd have already been on like Baroque architecture or something from Caber.
Baroque architecture. I've been on like flying buttresses.
Yeah.
And,
yeah, well, eventually you'd wind up in space. I feel like every time your thought ends, somehow it's in space somewhere. Like very rarely have
Some
I heard.
people call me the space cowboy.
some people call you the gangster of love.
I've been called Maurice.
I thought you were gonna.
I thought y'all were having.
I thought Caleb was gonna participate in that one.
I thought y'all were having a moment. I was just going to let it. I was going to let it smolder. Anyways, I was talking to guys at work because I put up the flyer for the April 27th at Peaceful Side Social. We're doing a Highland Games Expo to build up for the Smoky Mountain Highland Games in May. Well, I put up the flyer at work primarily because there's a lot of Japanese here and they like to see different cool stuff like that. So like, okay, if you guys want to see something that you probably won't see anywhere else, here's where you can go. Well, now I'm getting a lot of people like from here asking me about it. What are y'all doing?
I was checking my calendar.
I'm texting my mother back. She called.
Literally, the only 2 people in this room I can talk to are both dating.
I was like, what? I was like, I thought I had something going on.
You do Peaceful Side Social,
and that's what I have going on.
But so now I'm getting a lot of the associates, or like just other people that work there, coming and asking me about it. Yeah, they're like, you do this? I'm like, I thought y'all knew that.
Yeah,
like a lot of people don't know a lot about me, but they know I'm taller than most people, and I do Highland Games. That's like 90% of what people know about me at work.
Yeah.
Unless Dave's talked to him first.
Yeah, then who knows?
then
it depends on the day.
Yeah, then he breeds miniature horses on the weekends.
Yeah, we don't know. But either way, so they come and asked me, and then I'm showing this guy this video, like me like tossing the caber and stuff, and he's like, "Oh, that's so cool! Like, how heavy is that?" And he goes, "Like, we're probably 5 videos in," and then he goes, "Why are you wearing a skirt?" And I was like, "That's what you got stuck on?"
Yeah.
Like, I just threw a 56-pound weight 15 feet in the air, and you're like, "Why are you wearing a skirt?" Probably because, well, when you have to.
Yeah.
And it's a kilt.
Yeah.
First of all, the shorts are built in. It's a skirt.
No, I didn't want to pay extra for that. But yeah, so now I think there's a lot of Japanese people going to be there, so that'll be funny.
Oh, cool.
I have my own little cheering section.
Yeah.
You want me to try to fire off an intro so people can know more about you?
I'm almost afraid that. Wait, are you talking about right now?
Whenever.
Oh, I thought you were talking about at the thing.
Yeah.
No, it's my turn.
I actually forgot that we had that. I also forgot which button it is.
I texted him yesterday. Was like, "Hey man, how long until I have the break in the intro mute?" He's like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "The intro." He's like, "Oh, I don't know. I have to check." I was like, "No, you probably shouldn't. It's probably best if I just wing it. We're just gonna figure it out."
Yeah. Well, the whole time I thought you were asking about our intro song. I was like, I don't know. What
it's like he thought I was saying you had YouTube misspelled.
God.
I texted him because I watched our podcast on YouTube yesterday. Yeah. I was like, "Oh, it's misspelled on YouTube also," because we just had the conversation earlier that day.
Yeah.
And he went, "What? When did I misspell YouTube?" And I thought he's being just a smart ass.
I was like, when did I even type YouTube?
And he's like, "What are you talking about?" I sent more laughing emojis. He said, "I hate you." I was like, oh wait, are you serious? And no, like the title is misspelled on YouTube. He's like, oh,
I was so well, 'cause I was at the gym. And I was was that yesterday?
I think so.
Yeah. So on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I coach my wife and Jake's wife at the gym. So I was already like busy trying to talk to them about what they're doing, then try to text you back, and I'm like just spaced out because it's been a long day. And like speaking of which. Jake's wife Megan was doing bench press, and sometimes I forget that people don't get our humor. And she, whenever she was bench pressing, she picked one foot up off the ground. I said, also on your next one, keep both feet on the ground, push them down. I said, take your 10 toes, put them in the dirt. She goes, like curl them? Like, never mind, just push them.
Whatever feels right.
Yeah. Never mind. I realized I probably made that sound stupid. Just do what you're doing.
Like, but it's a rubber mat.
If it doesn't hurt, keep doing it.
But yeah, so I had a lot going on. I was like, when did I misspell YouTube? I was about to start looking. Like, when did I even type YouTube?
Scrolling through.
Like, I'm literally running through my head. What did I type in the description that said YouTube? Like, I have no idea what we're talking about. I was so confused. And then you just kept sitting and laughing emojis like, God, I hate this.
I didn't realize he was really having a crisis over there. I thought he was playing dumb.
I wasn't having a crisis. I thought like, because then
he was really going through it.
When you said the laughing emojis, I thought you were like just joking or something. I don't know what I was thinking, but I was like, I don't know what's happening right now. And then I said, I don't know. I checked whenever I get home. He said, don't worry about it. I was like, is this like one of those passive aggressive things?
Like what?
Worry about it or don't worry about it? I don't know. Triggering trauma for me here. Like,
what are the rules?
Yeah. Just walk. What do I know what to do with these?
I coached a church league basketball team one year. It was the worst coaching experience of my life.
Was your team name at least clever?
No.
What was it?
We were like
Blue Dragons.
No, we were like team 3A or whatever, I mean, there was
the best y'all could come up with.
They give you a name,
matter.
You're this team, you're whatever. But like I had 10 and 11 year olds. It was the age, or 9, 10, 11, whatever. And so like I scheduled some practices before this. Basically, the entire season just consists of one big tournament. And if you win out, you play over 2 days. I don't know how many games you played because I never won a game. But so I scheduled some practices, and there's several boys show up to practice. First game rolls around. Not one of the guys that had been to practice came to the game. Whole new group of boys show up. Their moms or dads, whatever, made them come. Like to the point where it's during the game. If they're there, I have to play them. That's part of it's just a rule. I had to play everybody. And I go to this kid. I'm like, hey, next dead ball, you're going in. And he was like, no, that's okay. And I was like, dude, you don't want in the game? He was like, nah. I was like, well, let me put it this way. If you're sitting here on the sideline here, you have to play at some point. If you don't want to play, you go sit over there with your mom. So he ended up going in. But I put this kid in. Second he gets in, they inbound the ball. He grabs the kid that catches the ball. Ref blows the whistle, foul. And he was like, what? I was going for the ball. And he was like, well, you can go for the ball. You're encouraged to do that. You can't grab him. And he was like, but I was going for the ball. He's like, yeah, it's still a foul. And he just has this breakdown where he's just like crying and screaming, what are the rules? What are the rules? So I have to.
That's me at Denzo at least once a week.
That's true. I've seen it.
So I have to call a timeout and get this kid out. He's having a breakdown right there. The game's going on. I'm not paying any attention to what's happening here and the whole time this kid's having a breakdown, I'm like, okay, his mom is literally 20 feet away. Why has she not come and helped me out?
But she said, you're on the clock, not her.
I look over and she whispers, welcome to my world.
Welcome to the Thunderdome.
Yeah. So as this is going on, another one of my players just comes and sits down next to me on the bench and goes, whew, I'm hot. He sat down during the game. I've only got 4 guys on the court now.
All starts suiting up.
Oh man, it was terrible. We lost that first game. It was 42-9, and one of the guys I had one guy score 7 points, and one guy scored 2. The guy that scored 2 points was he was 1 for 2 shooting, and I was glad that he missed that one shot because it was on the wrong goal. He got a defensive rebound, and he goes straight back up and shoots it. Luckily, he missed that one.
Maybe he thought y'all were playing half court.
Oh gosh! Oh, it was terrible.
Thought you were playing half court, no touchbacks. You know, I'm like,
Yeah.
I've been getting a bunch of TikToks, like his old soccer ref and coaches and players telling stories. And one of them, his team was like, he said, our coach was going to make us play shadow ball. We're going to play against nobody, which we thought was dumb anyways. He said, when we line up on the pitch, full team, you know, and we're about to start. So he wants us to run a play like I normally would. He said, so I passed the ball back. Then he passes the ball back, which is dumb because there's nobody in front of us. I don't know why we're passing the ball back. He said, but eventually the ball makes it back to the keeper, who's still putting his gloves on, rolls right past him, hits the back of the net. We're playing nobody, and we're down 1-0.
yeah, that's your time to retire.
Yeah. Were they team 3A?
Team 3A upward.
Hey, I've got some pictures somewhere where I really played some upward. I played was kind of. Dave, you want to hit this intro?
Now's as good a time as any.
I mean, halfway through the show.
I'm not going to be any more prepared now or later or ever. So let's just run it.
So it sounds like perfect time.
Yeah.
Ready?
Sure. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to a man who peels his fried pickles before he eats them but refuses to peel a banana. He's been described with many words, but the one used mostly is ambiguous. He'll wear a sock inside out to extend the mileage, and he's not afraid to meet your mom and your dad and tell them both he loves them on the first date. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Caleb. I might get these charges dropped one day.
But refuses to peel a banana.
I kind of forgot everything you said after that one. that one got me.
I like that was clever. I may get these charges dropped one day.
And you nailed it. Hit the gap perfect.
That was awesome.
My thought was, if I miss it completely, it's going to be funny. If I hit it, I'll be impressed with myself. So either way, it's a win-win.
Yeah.
There was no risk, all reward.
So
yeah.
Now it's the fun competition of who did better.
Holland.
Well,
he was prepared.
David was funnier though.
I don't know.
Maybe it's just because mine was fresh. Yours was pretty good.
Thank you.
Yours is fresh.
Like we just
It
heard.
was fresh
that.
on my mind. Yeah.
Like, what are you saying? This
Together,
is
dog.
stale?
It was funky fresh.
When did I misspell YouTube?
Apparently, I didn't. So don't even worry about it.
That's like that one time you were like, yeah, it should be the number one podcast in your hearts, or it should be. And I was like, yeah, or my mom will be disappointed in you. And you were like, in me?
But even listening to that back, I still thought you were talking about me. Jesus, what'd I do to Linda? She likes Dave, but disappointed in me.
Yeah. You're the mastermind behind this whole thing.
Mastermind's kind of relative term.
Mind. The mind.
A mind.
Yeah.
It's like mega mind.
Yeah. And mind.
Well, here's the deal. Which intro got you the most pumped up?
Yours I listened to all the way through. Dave's I checked out after the.
To be honest, so did I.
You even know what you said in any of that?
I couldn't recite back any of it.
Hold on, we're gonna run it back. Try again. Ready?
Yeah.
Ready? And 3, 2, 1.
He once got lost at the zoo. He was 27 years old. It took him 3 days to find him. He was hanging out with the meerkats, digging little holes, wearing little shorts. All he wanted was a smashed penny with a giraffe on it. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Caleb. You shouldn't be in that part of this restaurant, Dave.
Really got hung on the zoo part. You got stuck there for a minute.
It's tough to pivot when you don't know what's coming next. You just stay in the safe end. You know, I could reach in those waters.
I
didn't want to get in a depth my neck wasn't ready for.
Yeah.
You got the neck.
Yeah.
Nice callback. That's good podcasting, David.
Yeah. Man. Who'd have thought we came completely unprepared?
I thought you would, like, my usual go-to is to go back to what I already did, and yours is just...
No, all new.
Yeah.
Nothing that was said before.
Let's see what happens.
It's like cooking spaghetti. You just throw it on the wall, see if it sticks. Like,
Dave's like, the past is irrelevant.
Yeah.
I like that you laughed after each segment and still somehow managed to catch the gap.
I've got the timing of Ringo Starr.
You've got the neck for intros. That's it. Some would
And
say.
the calves for outros, so I hear.
Hey.
I agree. Hate to see him go, but I love to watch him walk away. That's why he has to wear pants here.
Yeah. That one time was a mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all stood out in the front yard and talked for hours.
You completely ignored my safe word.
Holland's eyes never came above knee level.
Didn't help it.
Or below ankle.
Or below ankle. But oddly enough, David didn't say anything about it.
No.
He likes the attention. He wouldn't dress like that if he didn't want you to look at him.
That's right.
It's chess, not checkers. So I'm playing
chess.
I'm playing the long game. If I just let you guys get just close enough, we ever make some of this 10 years down the road, I could be like, yeah, looking back on it, I'm uncomfortable with the way they made me feel, and I could cancel you both.
Fair point. That's why I keep all the recordings of everything.
Sounds a little Epsteinish. I'm already building the case. Just planting the seeds.
FBI is going to show up. I'm like, listen, I'll show you my library. Listen to all of them. And which would work. We should do that. That's how we'll gain fans. They'll have to listen to all of our stuff.
Yeah. The three
That'll teach 'em.
FBI guys.
Yeah, that'll teach them.
Well, it's our three. The one's already watching us. Maybe we got the same one.
It may be.
There's no way we got the same one.
We may have the same one.
I think I'm on some watch lists from other countries.
I believe it.
There's probably like a task force assigned to you.
When they kill the cameras, my name's been mentioned at NATO.
I know that when me and you work at the same place, and there's a reason they've not sent you overseas because they can't. Overseas says anybody but that one.
Yeah.
They can't tell us any name in that building, but they know Dave's.
The entire
I'm our Dr.
overseas said that.
I'm our Dr. Manhattan from The Watchmen.
It wasn't,
I'm a deterrent.
it wasn't just one country that said that. It was the entire overseas.
Yeah. It was more of a coalition.
Yeah, even Russia joined in on that one and said, no, we're good.
And they'll take Steven Seagal.
Did you get that video that I sent that was comparing that Steven Seagal movie with
Van Damme?
Van Damme?
Yeah.
Great video.
I didn't realize, though, how bad that Van Damme movie was.
Speaking of which, though, you haven't upped your call out in a while.
Steven Seagal.
Hold on. Okay.
Steven Seagal, if you are listening, I am challenging you to a fight. Any place, anytime, anywhere.
Can confirm. Me and Holland had a conversation just last week for well over an hour, and TV Mature Word coming up. All we did was shit on Steven Seagal. We were just sending his movie reviews to each other, watching them, making fun of him.
TV Mature Word coming up.
I was trying to make editing easier for you, dog. That's good podcasting.
Yeah.
Thanks, I guess.
That was a no-look high five and camera change, too. I don't know if you saw that.
I was eating Sour Patch Kids. Not sponsored.
Not a sponsor.
But could be.
Could be.
Could be.
Sour Patch Kids, if you're listening.
Yeah.
Want to sponsor the world's most anabolic podcast here, dude.
Yeah.
Sure. And we have a samurai, Batman, and a knight.
We'll appropriate any culture.
What else do you need?
We are indiscriminate appropriators.
And a Spartan helmet on Batman. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
We'll take anybody's money.
That's our inclusion of the LGBTQ community is the Spartan helmet.
What? Oh, Oh, I got
Yeah,
it.
that's how they pass their knowledge down to their little apprentice fella. Poor guy. That used to be the policy on the podcast.
That's how we initiated Dave.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to say that. You're building this case.
I had no idea what the word initiate meant. I learned the hard way.
I didn't know what initiate or consent meant.
Who has a locker room in their house for stuff like that?
Why didn't that room have windows?
I fell for it because it looked like a regular gym locker room. We're like, all right, the showers. It just felt right.
They even made me work out
Got me
before.
with a big
just
trap.
Me. They just watched me work out the whole time. Then said we were all sweaty somehow.
Why are you sweating? No, it looks hard. Well, Chappelle when he plays basketball at Prince. Oh, yeah. Good game. I ain't on your team. That's one of the best things television ever saw.
Like, he's all dressed up like Prince, and he's dunking like both hands.
He lets go with one hand.
Yeah.
Let's go with the other, and then floats down. Game. Blouses.
I think we need an ad.
Go ahead, Holland. Add us up.
Hey, yeah.
Who you got an ad for today?
NutriFit.
I think we all should switch.
All right.
That's right. I'm putting you in David's seat now. You got to pull one off the cuff for.
I can give you the phone number.
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to need the phone number.
Just remember that LLC after East Tennessee Electric, because there's a couple of them.
Here we go.
I can do that ad for, what is it? East Tennessee Electric LLC?
I think I've heard of them.
Yeah. What's their phone number?
865-318-0867.
So you should give that number a call and get out of the dark.
Yeah.
Linda. See, tripping over the coffee table.
You got two options. Get rid of the coffee table or get some lights.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Me and Holland are the same, that whenever we don't know what to do, we're going to go back to what we've heard or said before.
Yeah, get those lights turned on.
Dadgummit.
What's that number again?
865-318-0867.
Yeah, give them a call.
Oh, wait, hold on.
And the crowd goes wild.
Let's see. Here you go, Dave. Here's your one for NutriFit.
I don't need that.
You don't want it?
Oh, you do.
All right, fine.
If I make him freestyle it, I've
You're
got
gonna
to
make
make
me read?
you.
Okay.
He's going to make you read.
That just makes sense.
You want to do it right now?
Yeah, why not?
All right. Yeah. Elevate your workouts to the next level with NutriFit's cutting-edge pre-workout supplements. Ignite your energy, focus, and endurance, and push through every rep with confidence. Experience the NutriFit difference and dominate your training sessions like never before. Go to NutriFit.com and use promo code CalebCDay for a discount. The beautifully written ad, Holland.
That was beautiful.
Though, it was kind of a letdown, though, because I expect your ads to be so funny, and I'm like, oh, man, my ad was not at all.
I think I like doing this. It's like making y'all flip.
We're not just a couple show ponies, all right?
Yeah, hey, listen.
Entertains me.
I know we got the bodies for entertainment, but we're not here to please you, okay?
Hey, you like to often watch me tee it up and watch it not get hit because you think it's funny. So sometimes, I like to get a kick out of this. And because we're running out of stuff here. Without my little task sheet here, I'm kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
We never run out of stuff. It's just necessarily stuff that's on topic.
That's what I meant. Okay. That's what I meant. Like,
yeah,
we could talk forever. Like, I mean, just like whenever we went to Buffville to lift the Buffville stones, we talked the whole way there. No radio, no pauses. Yeah, none of it is really interesting.
No.
Well, to anybody else, it's interesting to us, but.
Yeah, I was like, what were you saying? Were you miserable the whole way up there? Like,
I was having a blast.
I hate this conversation.
That's what it sounds like.
Nah, dog.
Should have brought anybody else but these two.
Yeah, we don't like the heat you've been.
I can't bring anybody but
Sitting
you
on
two.
the
I've tried.
Nobody else will go.
Everyone who's worth a dang is busy.
How do you think y'all wound up here?
Stuck with these two losers.
Had y'all over one time. Now, next thing I know, you're co-hosts.
So when we were talking about the Prince thing and the dunking, that got me thinking. Well, that got me thinking about the WNBA. Like,
hold on, follow the breadcrumbs.
yeah. So I mean, well, one of the suggestions that's been going around, and it's been suggested by literally everyone, to make the WNBA more exciting is to lower the rims a foot so they can dunk. Yeah. You know, I read a statistic that like Shaquille O'Neal had a game where he dunked more in this game than there have been in the history of the WNBA.
I believe it.
And you know, and really, I can only think of 3 WNBA. Not that I'm an expert in women's basketball, but I can only think of 3 WNBA players that have ever dunked.
I can't think of one WNBA player at all.
So
I can think of a couple that I'm questionable the W.
yeah. Well, Lisa Leslie,
Fair enough.
Candace Parker, and the dude that used to play for Baylor,
Exactly.
Brittany Griner.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Couldn't have been more perfectly timed.
I mean, and that's it. That's all I can think of.
One of the only times Futurama ever made me laugh, they were on a planet of nothing but Amazonian women, and they were like, first we have our ceremonial basketball game. The guy was like, you play basketball? And she goes, we know dunk, but good fundamentals.
Good fundamental, yeah. But like, you know, who wants to watch somebody miss layups, you know, all game, you know?
If
Like-
they want to do that, they'd watch me play.
Yeah, I think they should lower the rim a foot and then make dunks worth 3 points.
Yeah, like try making the game more entertaining.
Yeah. But instead they're like, no. What happened? What needs to happen is the NBA needs to support us more. Even though the NBA funds the WNBA.
Yeah.
The only reason that it's still in existence is because it's being subsidized by the NBA.
Yeah, it's more of it's where they're not willing to make the game exciting. It's more of a drain on that than anything. Because I've seen somewhere, I know it was for sure in soccer. It's probably the same way in the WNBA. They were complaining about the wage gap. So somebody actually did the math. It was a court case. They legally did it, laid it all out. Was like, actually, you guys, based on percentage of what the league brings in, make more than the men in the NBA, the NFL, and all that make.
Right.
It's just the league makes no money
Yeah.
because no one watches.
Well, yeah, the WNBA has been running in a deficit since its beginning. And it would have folded
Folded.
25. Fold these clothes.
WNBA no sponsor.
I went to the WNBA game. I came back with my shirt ironed and a sandwich.
I don't use that kind of hateful rhetoric. 4 more years.
So to pivot,
Oh,
pivot over to something that's not going to get us canceled.
hey, we're offering serious suggestions here.
I've changed the setting.
We have changed a setting.
Yeah, I think cameras are just froze.
Are you sure?
Yeah, exit out of that program.
On the computer?
Yep, without knocking it over again.
Yeah.
Technical difficulties, folks.
Yep,
Bam. Yes. Bam.
and reopen it.
Bam.
That's what I get for making fun of the WNBA.
Yeah.
Man.
The ghost of Margaret Thatcher just rolled in here.
All right, which camera are you on now?
I'm on 1.
Then you broke it.
That's what I'm saying. I had the FTP light was flashing.
Is your USB-C plugged in? No.
No.
So close that program.
That's what's the matter.
Yeah.
Now plug your USB-C in. Up on the desk.
There it is. Out.
Yep.
Do we want to talk about Beyonce's
reopen.
new country album?
No. I have a topic to go to as soon as we get this fixed. There we go.
Well, you want to stay away from that?
Yeah, I do. All right.
I was really hoping we'd get to that.
Yeah.
I've listened to it a lot. This ain't Texas.
But to do, but me and Holland are.
What are we?
Sound like you're something was talking.
Be right back.
Yeah. So, while Caleb inspects the strange noise in the house, David, you got any dogs?
I do. I've got a blue tick beagle.
A blue tick beagle. This name Smokey?
His name's Jack Daniels.
Jack Daniels. Nice.
He's an old man. He's almost 11 years old.
Oh.
Yeah,
I like old dogs. They,
he don't know he's old.
they kind of got that vibe. Also, he's still pretty.
Yeah, he'll lay like when he's in the house, unless he's like fired up and playing with a toy or something.
Yeah.
He just wants to lay around. But the minute you put him on his leash, take him outside, howling, trying to eat every bug in the ground, pulling everywhere.
Well, Caleb's back.
It's fine. I fought off the invaders, no problem.
Was it national
problem.
security?
It was Steven Seagal.
Oh.
Here to get to Holland, but it's fine.
That's light work.
Does he still run like a girl?
Yeah, he ran away very fast.
I doubt he does a lot of running these days.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Have you seen that video of that construction worker about to get hit by the garbage truck?
Oh, like he's trying to run away from it, but it looks like he's in molasses.
Yeah.
That's what Steven Seagal was running like just now.
I can send you several fight scenes from some recent films that he's made, and I do use the word film for Steven Seagal's, where there's like multiple fight scenes where he never gets out of the chair.
Yeah.
Oh.
He just never stands.
You've told us about those. Anyways,
Yeah, they're incredible.
back to what I meant to talk about before we wasted time.
Yeah.
I'll waste your time.
Oh.
Anyways, is me and Holland have been part of a conversation recently, which, I mean, we could spend a little bit talking about it, is about bringing Highland games more into the spotlight. So over the years, there's been a lot of talk about how to do so. Mostly like standardization comes up. And then the debate is always standardization versus tradition. So for one, where do you fall at with that?
Well, I mean, like, I feel like traditionally,
And Dave, you feel free to chime in.
there is some standardization. I mean, like, you throw open stone, it's within a certain.
Right. And that's always everybody's complaint is like everything, the weights for everything is a range.
Yeah.
But it's hard to standardize it because like cabers, there's no one caber or no two cabers the same.
Right. And the whole point of caber is not everyone should be able to turn it.
Yep. I agree.
And like the reason cabers last is, well, it's one of the harder events and it's one of the most impressive events, but it's impressive because it is a hard event to do, and it should not be like everybody wants to make the games easier.
Yep.
Open stone, they want it to be a shot. And yeah, they're like, oh, they use a shot in Scotland. Well, yeah,
some games.
Yeah, but I feel like that's a cop out.
No, I agree. And I mean, I know that like our sheaf is not part of the original Highland games.
Right.
It's the American part of it, but still, I still believe like the point of the sport is tradition.
Yeah.
It just looks cooler, and anything that looks cooler is easier to get people to come watch.
Yeah, and the two events that people like the most, or that attract the biggest crowd while they're happening, is sheaf and caber.
Mm-hmm.
And
sheaf is one of the bigger crowd pleasers.
I would always. I don't care what the weight is. I'd rather watch somebody throw a stone than a shot any day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it looks cooler.
I mean, it's like Alan, friend of the podcast, he has the stone that we practice with and we use for all of our Twisted Kilt games. We call it Merida because it literally just looks like a loaf of bread. It is a giant rectangle. It is horrible, but it weighs the same as other stones you use.
Yeah.
It's just shaped horrible. So, yeah, it's going to be harder to throw than other ones because it doesn't fit in your neck the same or whatever it may be. And so, yeah, that's the part that I don't like is I feel like if you standardize things too much, you get away from the point of the
Yeah.
sport.
Yeah.
And back before you had the internet and couldn't order stuff and see all these rules and all that crap, you didn't have people going, hey, I want to see how strong I am, but I hear this village 2 towns over is using an iron shot instead of a stone, so I'm not even going to pick that up because it's just pointless.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, they were going and picking up whatever rock they had.
Yep.
And be like, all right, I got it. Now see if you can get it.
Yep. And that's always my argument is like if I wanted it to be standard, I would do track and field.
Yeah.
If I was looking for a standardized sport, that's what I would go for. But I go for one that has more of a history to it.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying track and field doesn't have a history,
Right.
but it's just talking about this sport is like
Yeah.
that's the history I want to be part of.
Yeah, and
is
that's
why they
the
did
history of that sport.
Right.
Yeah.
And like why they did that, like to find the strongest men in all the clans and all that, like that. Yeah. So therefore, if I go to compete, that means I'm entering in to find out, am I stronger than these people?
Yeah. And the people that are whining the most about the standardization and stuff, like I would like for them to compete in strongman for a while.
Yep.
You know, sometimes you don't even know the events that you're
Yeah.
going to do. They may change it the day of.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, oh, sorry guys, we're not going to do such and such event. We're going to add car deadlift instead. Well,
Yep.
you may have not trained for car deadlift at all.
Yep. Well, it's like the year me and you did KO's Highlander.
Oh yeah,
They added what was it, the Irish Fling?
Mm-hmm.
They added that the day of.
Yeah, like during the competition,
Yeah,
they
in the
added
middle of it,
Yeah.
they said, "Oh, we're moving pretty quick. Let's do this one too."
Yeah, I mean, so like, what would these people do?
Yeah,
You know?
and that's like the other arguments I've heard are why do athletes have to pay to compete, or that it's expensive to compete? And my answer is just like you said.
Yeah.
Go look at strongman or powerlifting.
Yeah, enter any other competition. They're
Mm-hmm.
$90, $150, whatever. You know.
Oh yeah, and that's not even counting your membership to compete in that one.
Yeah, yeah. You might have to be a IPF member
Yep.
or a
USAWA member, whatever it
Yeah.
may be, which is still, I agree with still having joined those, but it's just, if you're going to, it's hard to say,
yeah.
why am I paying? I don't think I've paid more than $50.
No.
Actually, I don't think I paid more than $40.
Yeah, and the thing is, you're not a professional.
That's
You know?
it.
That's what I was thinking too. I was going to say the people that are detracting from it mostly sound to me like they're trying to, they're in denial. They think that it's the rules that are holding them back and not just their strength and talent.
Yeah, they think that. Yeah,
They're trying to legislate a win.
Yep. That's what I think. Ross, friend of the podcast, put it best whenever he said, "Strongman taught him." How do you put it? Taught him power. Powerlifting taught him mindset, and Highland Games taught him patience.
yeah,
Which I agree with, because Highland Games, it's almost a marathon.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you've got 7 to 9 events.
yeah,
That also depend on, like, you can either do a full 9 depending on the size of the field. A lot goes into that. But either way, minimum 7 events is happening. So that's and especially when you get to your height events, that could be a lot of throws.
yeah.
A lot.
And you're in the sun,
Mm-hmm.
you're in or the rain, whatever.
Or whatever God gives you that
Yeah.
day, you're in it.
Yeah,
I've never seen a Highland game canceled for weather.
no. And then you might get in the middle of an event, and then here come the sheepdog.
Yep.
And then you've got to.
Dude, I love the Smoky Mountain game. I have no complaints about that game whatsoever other than that.
Yeah.
That is my, just because, like, I mean, I even told Britton the other day when me and him were talking about it,
Yeah,
that's my complaint is, like, last year is my example. It was me, Jeremy Robinson, and one other guy throwing, we all 3 hit 30 feet on sheaf, and we're about to go up. And then, we got to get off the field for sheepdogs. I was like, bro.
and then you're off the field for like an hour.
Yeah. And then we come back, have to throw at 31 feet again. I was like,
Yeah.
you can't do that.
They should let you have some warm up throws.
Like, they let us have they let us have a few, but still, like, you're
Yeah.
not going to get back in the rhythm of
that quick. Yeah,
yeah. Like I think I opened at 26 or 27.
yeah,
So I mean, I'm just over and over all the way up, and then like you're ready, you're dialed in, but like just
yeah.
it throws you off. But either way, that's just part of the sport, though.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's part of it. You've got to adapt and overcome.
Yeah.
But
Because again, the original sport was made to find the strongest man, not the strongest man in this or that only.
or the strongest man under these very specific
Yep.
conditions.
Just
you
sport
know?
in general. You don't go into it thinking, okay, because nobody's good at everything.
Right.
You like something,
Yeah.
you work at it, you get better at it. You don't go, basketball looks cool, I'm going to try to change the rules until I'm good at it.
Yeah.
You go and try to make yourself good at that game. That's the whole purpose of a game is a set of rules to compete. You don't go into any other thing like football. And so you don't see guys going, if they would just make it to where you couldn't run that fast, I could be in the Premier League. Like, no, it's just like, no, I can't compete at that level.
Well, that's like, I mean, our throwing group, it's been a joke forever. They're like, stones and weights, horrible for me. Hate them.
Yeah.
Stones, absolutely terrible. But I practice those enough that I just got to be in the top 3, top 5-ish, so that I can still win the event because I'm good at the other ones.
Yeah, the hot events carry you through.
Yeah, hot events carry me through. Hammer does me good. Like everything else I do good in, but those tend to. But I just got to be okay. So that's the way you need to learn to balance it.
You worked on them though. You didn't say we got to change these rules to put me in the top 3 of these.
Like I'm not good at stone. I'm gonna refuse to throw stone, and I'm gonna try to get it kicked out.
Instead of trying to get better at it, I'm gonna tell you all the reasons it's dumb.
I've even had a game, and I didn't complain. I mean, I complained just how annoying it was that it happened, but still, it was the day. I can't be mad. But either so, whenever the day started, everyone agreed 7 events. Mm-hmm. We said we're not throwing Braemar, or I think it was we're not throwing Braemar, and we're not throwing Light Hammer. Cool, that's great. So then we get through our 7 events, and we wind up getting done early, which was fine. Well, then everyone starts, or not everyone, there's a few select people start complaining they want to do Braemar. I was like, well, for one, we're completely out of order now because we ended on Heavy Hammer.
Yeah.
So we went from Heavy Hammer, then a few people complained wanted to do Braemar, so then we go Heavy Hammer. Now I'm thinking I'm done, so I'm starting to check out.
Oh, yeah.
So now we're going to Braemar, which is out of order. I messed up, and I was within 1 point of first place at that point. If we ended at those 7 events, I wouldn't have got first, but it would have got me second.
Yeah.
And so then we did Braemar. I got like 5th or 6th in Braemar. Well, then everyone kept complaining again that they wanted to do Light Hammer. So then we go through Light Hammer. I was like, now you guys have completely messed me up.
Yeah.
Because I was feeling good throwing Heavy Hammer, and usually you go, or it's Light Hammer too heavy, or vice versa. Either way,
or you don't do light at all,
light at all.
Usually, light's always the one that gets knocked out.
Yeah. So then we go do Light Hammer, and now I wound up. I think I still got second place in that one, but it put the point margin rather large between me and first place. And I was like, I mean, I can't complain because I did good, but still, I was like,
yeah. But
still, that's the sport.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's still well within the rules to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's okay to not like the whole point of it is to be as good at every one of them as you can be.
Yeah.
Like I won a game. I didn't score. I mean, I finished third.
Yep.
Or I finished third or second in every event.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't win an event, but I finished in the top 3 in all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I won it, but a guy that one of the guys had 2 first place finishes, and he was like, I've got more. I finished first in more events than anybody because everybody else, that was all spread around, and he had 2 firsts. Well, yeah, but you came in 7th in sheaf, and you came in, that's why you've got. I mean, the same way scoring with like strongman,
Yeah, it's exactly the same.
Or anything else with a championship season. It's like you could win the championship without most racing series. As long as somebody's not super dominant, you could win the championship without winning a single race that season.
Yeah.
Like if they would stop and apply their logic to any other sport, they'd realize, oh, the things I'm saying make no sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't see the argument.
I do like Danny Webster. I like the way he's going with things.
Mm-hmm.
Is that now he's getting rid of these class walls and just having the open.
Yeah.
Which I really want to have him on podcast to talk about it because it's really cool. But it's just the open. There's no pros. There's no A's, B's. There's no anything.
Right.
It is. You enter and you're competing for a cash prize with a cash payout for every event.
Yeah.
It's like you do sheaf and you win sheaf. I forget what the payout was. But either way, money payout for first place on that one.
Yeah.
All the way to overall prize at the end. You can enter in that and win money, but also remember, there's pros signed up. There's
Exactly.
Anybody.
And that makes sense. That seems more like an evolution of the game rather than I'm changing the game to make it better for me.
Which that is closer to Scotland's games currently. Scotland's games do that with a payout at each event and then an overall winner. But I love it. There's no
and you know, it knocks people out of like trying to be an amateur B forever so they can keep winning.
That's why I like it. Is it forces you to be competitive.
Yeah. I mean, like the whole point of the different amateur classes is so you can compete, not finish last or whatever until you figure out what you're doing. But then you're supposed to get good enough to get out of that class and then up into the next amateur class.
Yep.
But some people don't want to do that.
No, and that's why I like it. It gets rid of that, because I mean I've been caught saying it, especially whenever I started, is that's a good throw for a B or that's a good throw for an A. Like just aim for good throws. Like, and also with that being said, I do feel like there is something to be said for if you are an A or if you're a B, like especially like I've known quite a few athletes that hit 40 plus. And they don't want to go masters. Now, if you don't want to go masters for personal reasons, you just want to throw the 46, that's great. That's cool. However, if you think you're going to go pro,
right,
let's really look at if you're going to go pro.
Yeah.
Like I myself know I'm not going to go pro.
No.
I'm going to sit in A's till the day I stop. Like,
never going pro.
I know I'm not good enough to be a pro for a few reasons. One, I'm very rigid. And two, I just don't want to put enough effort into it to be at that level.
I was going to say, you don't put in enough of the practice time.
No, I don't.
Not that you couldn't possibly do that.
Oh, yeah.
And get there.
Yeah, but I'm just not willing to do what I need to get there.
Yeah. I mean, some guys go pro, they put in a small amount of, but they were already.
Oh, yeah. That's your collegiate thrower guys that they come out of shot put, borderline world record.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for Ryan Krauser to do that.
Right.
I'm waiting for him to join Island Games and dominate.
Well, it's like Half Thor. Half Thor comes in and kills it. Wob.
Yeah. He does the record breaker event like every year where he sets the Wob world record.
But
nobody counts it though. But
because he doesn't do it in competition.
Yeah, that's another point to our argument about the evolution of the sport is, Half Thor that is a known fact. Half Thor has the world record in Wob. Almost no Highland Game athlete that I've ever met will recognize that because he did nothing else that day.
Yeah.
And that's not even like, he can't even use the excuse of like his COVID deadlift. I mean, I'm not saying didn't lift the weight, but no one wants to justify that for the circumstances it was under.
Yeah.
But the Wob, you've got the world record for it, but like the guys that are throwing close to your numbers that is trying to aim for that are doing an entire day long competition.
Mm-hmm.
So
well, and like it's kind of like a chip, putting our PRs on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
He only counts competition PRs.
Yep.
I
think there should be 2.
I think there should, just for motivation in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm going to do it. I'm going to put it up one day without telling him.
Yeah. But like he counts competition PRs because those are the ones that count.
Yep.
Those are the ones that happened with judges under competition circumstances after doing your other 2 lifts or after,
Yeah, and I don't like that he does that because like Jake, whenever Jake first started coming over there, he saw mine on there and he said, I think what was my squat on there, like 415 or something.
Yeah.
And he said, that's kind of light for you, isn't it? I was like, that's only a competition.
Yeah.
Like, you can't count it. It was just one time.
But it's funny though because he only counts powerlifting competitions too. Because I pulled I can't remember. It was a strongman. Oh, it was Relentless in Nashville, and I pulled like a 650 deadlift.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a deadlift bar, lockout. It counted there. I'm like, hey, check this out. He's like, oh man, yeah. If you do that in a powerlifting competition, we'll put it on the board.
Really takes the wind out of your sails.
I'm like, oh, great. You know?
That's why his comments on like social media cracked me up. It's like your 700 deadlift that you done on the trap bar,
Yeah,
for 3 or something.
Yeah.
And he put, great job, Holland. I was like, that almost sounds.
Yeah. He only recognizes lifts that they've been notarized.
Yeah. I was like, man. Like, he texted me before this last powerlifting meet asking how my training's going. I said, it's going good. I just hit 300 on bench. That was the dad text y'all that I hit 300. He goes, that's great. That's it. No, no period. No exclamation point. I was like, okay.
I love Chip.
Oh, I do too.
I mean, man, I love it. But yeah, he cracks me up with that kind of stuff. Or like, Kyle that works out with us. Kyle, Kyle's strong.
Yeah.
And and he's only like 140 pounds, 150
his first
pounds.
powerlifting meet last year was nuts.
Yeah. And he was showing him this video of this like Russian or Czechoslovak, I don't know. So a Western Bloc
That's
country.
racist. You seen all white folk look the same?
A Western Bloc country lifter. I don't remember I just don't. I remember the general area, not the specific country.
All I know is you spread a lot of hate on this episode, Holland.
Yeah.
Man, I have, hadn't I?
Yeah.
You dropped the F word.
Hateful Holland today, son.
Ooh, the double H.
Yeah.
One more H and you're almost famous.
Yeah, almost. But showing him this video of this guy, and he was he hit like it was close to a 600-pound squat.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, yeah, this guy's almost your body weight. Da, da, da. And I was like, oh, yeah, he's in a suit and knee wraps.
I do that often. I do find myself, like, if I see someone do like a heavy deadlift or heavy squat and I see they're wearing a suit, I'm like,
Yeah, it doesn't count. I don't count it.
I don't.
But and the thing is, though, Chip can watch a raw deadlift, and the only thing that they used were straps. And he's like, oh, they use straps.
Depends on what video. If there's a lot of reps happening, then I'll say that.
Well, like,
But if there's no reps going,
so when Thor deadlifts 1,100 pounds without a suit,
doesn't matter to me if there's straps or not. That's nuts.
He goes, he's like, 1,100. Oh, he used straps. Immediately uninterested in it. Like, he could care less that happened. It didn't happen to him. But now, if he had a suit helping him do it, but didn't use straps, then that would count.
I mean, I get that, again, just like we said about Highland Games, that's a sport. That's great. However, if I say I'll deadlift 600 pounds, to me, that means at any given time, regardless of equipment,
I can grab that bar and pick it up.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what that means to me.
Same
Give me
with
20
bench press.
minutes and help me get into this.
Yeah. Stupid pre-workouts, some smelling salts, some straps, some gloves, some suits.
Yep.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, your smelling salts are very good.
Yes.
He naturally produces them.
I do.
You don't want to know where we have to farm them. It's more of a mining operation, really.
It's my own musk.
It crystallizes.
But yeah, I get that. That's a great part of the sport, but it's a different sport, and I don't ever want to do it just because, I don't know, saying I benched 500 pounds, but knowing I had to wear something that I couldn't bend my arms outside of being under that 500 pounds.
Yeah, well, it's like I can bench 425 with a slingshot.
Yep.
I don't tell people I bench 425.
Nope.
I tell people what I can bench raw. You know. But like if you're wearing a bench shirt and you bench 800 pounds, but you can only bench 400, you can bench 400 pounds.
Which
the shirt is adding that.
Yeah, and that's my point. It's 400-pound bench is still a good bench press.
Yeah.
But then you say 800 and everyone's freaking out.
Yeah.
And they think you're up on par with, I swear I forget his name.
Julius.
Julius Maddox.
Yeah.
But everyone's thinking you're on that guy's level, which that guy's huge. So you're not.
Yeah, you're not on that level.
Yeah, but I don't think I could ever in my right mind say that I deadlift 800 while wearing a suit.
Right. I mean, I don't get it.
Oh, I mean, that's other people's sport. That's the reason I don't compete in it, because I don't get it. That's your thing. You do that. That's what, like underwater basket weaving. Don't get it.
I'm still thinking about Holland salt mines.
Salt mines or just salt mines?
Salt mines. I bet it looks like the backside of a yak.
We really should make our
harvesting.
own. We need to make our own smelling salt.
Yes. That's the next merch that we're going to come out with.
I agree.
Looks like the rock candy you get at Dollywood.
We should have it on a stick like that. You pull it out like a bubble wand.
Yeah. Blue. Is it smelling salt? Is it crystal meth? Is it a nice candy? Only one way to find out.
Oh,
Holland Special Blend.
yes.
Well, Holland, do you want to do us a favor and look up a quote?
Oh, yeah.
I've literally, again, I cannot preface this enough that I have nothing prepared. I don't even have my phone. My phone's right there.
Paul the Apostle once said, "Scared money don't make no money."
Word. Yeah. End it there.
Yep.
No, I got one. It's
All right. Well, we're going to end the show after this. So, anybody got anything else to add?
Nope.
all right.
Good. Going once, twice.
Yes, I'm good.
Take us out, Holland.
It's unattributed, but it says the biggest lie that men get told is that it's okay to be weak.
Bye.